Many of you sent me this story from the Money Magazine website, and I find it fascinating, and I know many of you want me to talk about this, and so I will. Here's the story from the Money Magazine website. Flirting at the office is not only taboo, but it could even take a toll on your financial future. Who tells you not to get involved at the office, not to compliment people at the office, not to talk about what people are wearing at the office, not to say, hey, you look good today at the office? Who tells you that? Well, now Money Magazine is backing me up on this. Now, this story continues. It says, according to Friday's USA Today, women who cross their legs provocatively, wear short skirts, or massage a man's shoulders at work get fewer pay raises and promotions. The newspaper, citing a Tulane University study, said 49% of female MBA graduates polled admitted they have tried to advance their careers by sometimes engaging in certain sexual behaviors, including sending flirty emails and wearing revealing clothing at the office. The respondents who said they never engaged in such activity earned an average of 3 promotions versus 2 for the group that had employed sexuality. Those who said they never used sexuality were, on average, in the $75,000 to $100,000 income range. The other group fell, on average, into the next range, $50,000 to $75,000 a year. Tulane professor Arthur Brief said the study suggests that women should be careful. Get this, this is another thing we've talked about in the air many times. Women should be careful about letting men open doors or lift boxes that aren't particularly heavy, because chivalry is, quote, benevolent sexism. Are you hearing this? Here you have the women in the office who not only ask men to lift boxes that aren't particularly heavy, they ask them to lift heavy objects. Could you put the Arrowhead bottle on the water cooler, please? It's so heavy. Same woman, by the way, has a water cooler at home and puts the bottle on all the time. Ever been in an office where you've got cubicles and the company decides they're going to move you to another floor in the building, or they decide they're going to move to another address somewhere, and they make you, frequently in your free time for no compensation, pack up your little tchotchkes, pack up your paper clips and your pens and everything. They make you pack all your stuff and then either lift it up and bring it to a hallway somewhere or bring it to a truck. Or you simply just have to lift the box and move it from one side of the room to the other. How many times has a woman come up to you guys and said, could you help me? I've got all these heavy boxes. How about the women who ask you to get something from the top of a closet? It's so high up I can't reach up there. Well, you've now got evidence from Tulane University that says that this will impair your ability to make a lot of money or get promotions, because men will see you as helpless or useless. And I certainly do. I got to tell you that right now. By the way, I remind men out there, and I'm wondering if any of you have taken me up on this. How many of you have heard me talk about this subject in the past, where I've said to you, if a woman asks you to pick up a heavy object in the office, don't. It's not part of your job. Your job is your job. You don't have to be chivalrous in the office, boys. You don't have to put the water on top of the water cooler or lift heavy boxes. You don't have to do anything but your job. And it's time for you boys to start only doing your jobs and not helping the little ladies out around the office, because they're not going to have sex with you anyway. And even when they do, you are risking your own job, because if things don't work out, they can then go down to the Human Resources Department and make your life a living hell. The professor at Tulane, Arthur Brief, told USA Today, we argue that there are negative consequences for women who use sexuality in the workplace. I might point out, by the way, it's interesting that Tulane University says there are negative consequences for women doing this. How many people out there have believed that women use their sexuality to get ahead? This is the excuse people use for not advancing ahead in their own careers. You know what she did to get that job. You know what she did. When in reality, the study says the exact opposite. Those who use sexuality are more likely to not be promoted, and they are less likely to get raises or make high incomes. So all you people out there say, well, you know how she got that job. You know who she was doing. You know who she had to stoop to get that. You know she had to suck a basketball through a garden hose. You know. All right? Let's take, Carolyn Hughes, for example, who not only is not on Fox Sports Net anymore, but she also now, I read today, has been banned from the press box and the clubhouse at Dodger Stadium. So you would look at her, the former beauty pageant contestant, and go, you know how she got that job. Well, look where she's ending up. Think about it, Carolyn. So, you find this study interesting, by the way? I find it fascinating. And it eliminates a lot of the excuses people make. You know what? If somebody else makes more money than you do, or they have a better job than you do, it's because they worked harder than you did. And that's why. And those who temporarily get a boost by doing something sexual, eventually they get knocked off. They do. They absolutely do. I have never had sex with a superior in order to get ahead in this business. Never. You kidding me? You ever see the women who work in radio? Never. So I'm just simply wondering now, everybody? What do you think of this study from Tulane University? It says use your sexuality in the office, you get paid less, you get less promotions. Ask guys to hold doors open for you or lift heavy objects. You're likely to get left behind when it comes to promotions and raises and stuff. What do you think about this?
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom.
I rarely listen to you. My husband is a huge fan. Every time we get in the car, it changes to your station, and we have to listen to Tom.
Oh, I hate that.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Jasmine on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
At a statement. I think that a lot of women do get high up there in the companies or whatever, not just for doing sexual things, but because they have confidence in themselves.
I don't think women who do sexual things get ahead in the long run, even if they temporarily get a benefit. Ultimately, they get aced. In fact, I think chunky, homely women are the ones who get ahead. Just look at the ones who are bosses.
That's true. I always ask for raises and stuff, and that's because I always have confidence in myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. And a lot of women, like you said earlier about opening the doors, that guys shouldn't open the doors.
Right. Don't open the doors. Don't lift heavy objects.
But that's like part of what guys should do, I think.
No.
You're gentlemen.
No. Forget about that. Women want equality. And I'm America's original feminist. I'm going to give you equality, sweetheart.
Well, I don't think that. I don't agree with that.
Well, I understand that you say that, but generally speaking, women say they want to be equal. They complain that they don't make as much money as men. They're not treated fairly. They're victims of sexism. They're victims of glass ceilings. Okay, let's make it equal. Start lifting your own heavy objects, opening your own doors.
Well, there's some guys who are heavier than women out there that could do the job.
But it's not our job to do your job. It's not our job to lift your heavy objects. So, therefore, I'm telling men out there, don't do it.
So, I mean, they shouldn't help anybody, period? Is that it?
I would say stick to whatever your own job is and don't do any more than you're required to do. Just do what is in the job description, and that's that. And if there's some way to curry favor with your boss and you're trying to get ahead in the company, well, maybe that's the extra things you do. But lifting heavy objects and opening doors for women who will not benefit your career in any way is not advised.
So guys should only do it when it's beneficiary for themselves.
Guys, in fact, should only do at the office what is beneficial to their own careers. That's it. That's what I do. You're laughing.
I am, because I don't agree.
I'm not here to help you lift heavy objects. I'm here to get ahead, make more money, get promoted, get a better job. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm at the office for.
What about, like, if you're being a gentleman or not? Do you?
No, you know what? Being a gentleman is something that I deal with in my private life. If I choose to be a gentleman when I'm on a date, that's my own personal business. But I'm not dating you. You work in the same office I do. I don't owe you anything. And by the way, the reason men are gentlemen is to get laid.
Not all men.
That is the reason men want to be gentlemen, is to get laid. That is why we discuss being a gentleman on a date. Do you want to be one or not? Well, the incentive for men to do that, and I think sometimes men get screwed up in the head and they think maybe they'll get a chance to date the women in the office, which is a very bad idea. The main reason that a man decides to be a gentleman is to get laid. What benefit is there if you work in the same office I do? I make the same money you do. I have the same cubicle you have. But you need to lift a box of books and move it to the other side of your cubicle or the other side of the room. And you come to me and ask me to help you. Why should I help you?
To be nice?
Why should I be nice to you?
Why not?
Because you might be the person suing me next month for sexual harassment. Why should I do anything for you?
See, not everybody's like that.
I don't care if you're like that or not. I don't know if you're like that until you file a lawsuit. So I'm telling men, don't do it. Don't talk to women in the office. Hey, forget about opening doors or lifting heavy objects. Don't talk to them beyond what you have to talk about for professional purposes.
Well, that's the reason why a lot of men don't stay in the jobs where a lot of women are employed, because they don't really... well, most of the time they're not gentlemen. And a lot of girls...
Because we don't want to do work that's not in our job description. And we don't want to do your work.
Well, there's always nice guys out there.
Morons. Doormats. I'm trying to get to every one of them. Okay, you will lift your own heavy objects. When the water runs out of the water cooler, you put the bottle on.
You know, I try to do everything. I'm executive assistant of the owner, and it's just me and the owner, and I try to do everything that, like, the guys should do around the office, and I do it myself. So I'm not complaining at all. I don't mind.
Keep it going. Why should anyone do you any favors?
But if there were to be another guy in the office, then I would sure ask him to.
Well, he'd be a fool to do it.
Okay, Tom, I love your show. Gotta go.
Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Nancy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Nancy hung up the telephone, I guess. Had no way of telling she was on the air, besides her name being said very loudly into the telephone. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to James on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom. You know, I really just want to relate this thing as women you meet in the bar. They're all cool. They flash you a little skirt, and then they get in your wallet, get a couple drinks. Next thing you know, you're married. They're on the couch. It's the same thing in the job place. They flash a little skirt, they get the job. Next thing you know, they're in the break room eating Cheetos and watching soap operas.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, just to comment on the last caller, why men don't work in places with a lot of women, because they end up doing twice as much work to pick up for what the women aren't doing.
Yeah,
that's why.
Right. Yep, you're right.
And, you know, I love your show, and I hate to see the lazy women making us work twice as hard.
James, thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Doing okay, Steve.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you.
I'd just like to talk about how you talk about ugly women that make it in life and the ones that slut out don't make it.
Yeah.
Look at Boeing. You got Carolyn, Darlene, and Corky. Probably 3 of the ugliest women on the face of the planet. And they got the most power out of the whole company.
That's not uncommon. Also, this month, Boeing leads the nation in horse bangers. But that's just this month. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Scott on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just want to say, I think with respect to lifting heavy stuff in the office, I believe that conceptually you're right. And at the same time, you don't want to be the beast of burden. But the sword cuts both ways. So you may want some kind of a favor from a female.
What favors do women do for you in the office?
Well, you know, she might be very good with an Excel application or a PowerPoint application.
I've rarely found a woman who's better with the computer than I am.
Well, that's probably true for you, but I'm not sure that's true across the board. And there's other things, you know, that...
Call the IT department if you need help with the computer.
Right on. Like I said, conceptually, I believe you're right, and you shouldn't be the beast of burden. You know, women should pull their weight by and large, but, you know, we all have our own biological values in life that we can share with each other in certain ways. So.
Well, I do not owe it to any woman to help her lift any heavy objects or anything.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Even just having money and just having class are like 2 different things, because you could be rich all you want and be a total jerk.
I'd rather be a jerk with money than to be a big fat poor guy.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello to Airly on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Great.
Well, I just think it's insane how girls want everything to be done by guys.
I think it's insane, too, and I think it's more insane that men agree to help out.
Yeah, and they shouldn't. I mean, why? If girls are just going to screw them over and use them. That's all they want to do. That's all they want to do is use guys, and they want everything done for themselves when we can do it ourselves. They're just lazy and don't want to try.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. Johnny on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Johnny. Oh, Tom, this is John.
I know.
First time, long time.
Thank you.
Needed to chime in on this because, boy, I tell you, it's near and dear to my heart. Had a buddy that worked in the office with me. Scenario given. One of these hottie eye candies in the office. Oh, I need help with the box.
Yeah.
Ends up screwing his back up. Out for 2 months.
Oh, boy.
Who's paying his bills?
Good question.
You know? I mean, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, and here this same person is going out to lunch with the same fools and having them pay for it.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, I would not throw my back out for any broad.
Thank you.
I would not do any work in the office, whether it be filling in for a broad who's coming in late or leaving early because Johnny's got the sniffles, or somebody who's pregnant. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I refuse, and I'm recommending that every other man out there take the same attitude. No, it's sexist. It is sexist to expect us to do all the heavy lifting. Forget it.
And actually, then you get some of these broads that come in after they've had their baby, come into the office, oh, look at my cute little baby.
Yeah.
And then you con some fool in the office to let their bags and baby carry crap into the office with them.
I couldn't agree with you more, Johnny. Thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM. Bill on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom? First-time caller. I need to know what your advice is for guys in the office who are the helpful type, okay, but then when the women ask the guy that always is helpful to help and he doesn't have time to help because he's too busy doing his job, then all of a sudden you get the dirty looks and, they don't say hi to you anymore. What are your feelings on that?
Well, again, I think that that's the problem. When you start agreeing to do things that are not in your job description, people start to depend on those.
They more or less expect you to do these things.
That's right.
And I don't think that that's right, but at the same time, you know, when I need help with something, you know, I heard you mention earlier to the gentleman about the Excel programming, and the female worker might be a little more experienced with that program, and you told him to call the IT guys.
Yes.
I am an IT guy, so I find it very hard, you know, when I have all of this going on and I have, you know, 200-plus users to support, but then that one person that I helped out one time needs me to help. How do you, you know, how do you gracefully back out and say, I'm sorry, I don't have time?
No, that's exactly what you say. I don't have time. Or forget about I don't have time. Look, this is not my job. You know, we all have a job description, okay? You know what my job is.
Correct.
If somebody asked me to take a hand truck and move a series of boxes from one end of the office to the other, it's clear that that's not what I do. It's not my job.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to do that.
And so basically you're just saying, put your foot down and start to say no.
Start to say no. You have to start saying no.
Right. The more you say no, the less they'll look to you, the less they'll expect you to do.
I think you get more respect when you say no. You get much more by saying no than by saying yes.
You know, I will agree with that because, you know, coming from the experience on I have been the doormat, you know, and I have plenty of footprints on my back to prove it. You know, and I'm getting to the point where I don't like it. You know, I need a little reinforcement, a little positive reinforcement from the rest of the world out there that it is okay to say no.
It is okay to say no, and in fact, I recommend that you say no.
I will start taking your advice, my friend. Thank you very much. Love the show.
Bill, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Joy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing okay, Joy.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm just wondering why all these men are calling and whining about doing something that they're choosing to do time after time again.
Well, you see, my point is that they shouldn't be choosing to do it. They just shouldn't do it.
Right, but they're going to do it anyway.
No, they're not going to. They're not going to do it anyway. Some will, and others, like the last caller, will take my advice and not do it.
He's been a doormat before. Once a doormat, always a doormat. You know that.
Well,
you know that.
Well,
these men are just calling and whining.
I think a lot of guys just never realized it was okay to feel another way or to act another way.
Right, but see, when women call on your show and whine and complain about the way things are, you have no tolerance for that, but you have complete tolerance for men's whining.
Oh, but by the way, I'm not tolerating men's whining. In fact, I'm telling them, look, just stop doing it. Just stop.
Well, there's no disagreement there. If they don't want to help, don't. But please, have them stop complaining if they're going to willingly do so. It's just really lame.
All right, Joy, thank you. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. It's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Troy on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, what's going on? Long-time listener, first-time caller this year again. But I'll tell you something, these women just don't realize that a man is going to want to help to get something out of it. And I have. I mean, I got laid out on the job many times.
But you're lucky you didn't lose your job or get sued.
Well, no, see, because the job I was in, that was like an extra bonus. That was like cake. If you're able to get laid on the job...
It's like cake as long as you don't lose your job because of it.
Oh, I never lost my job for that. Other reasons, yeah, but not that one.
And I certainly wouldn't recommend it to others.
Hey, all they have to do is just be themselves and just tell it like it is. You know? I've had women bend over and say, can you help me? Please help me. Sure, I'll help you. You know? Get a big old flash, you know? And then you end up in the sack. No problem. None. You there, Tom?
I'm right here, Troy. I haven't left the room yet.
Right on. Hey, you know, but I'll tell you something. That guy that was on the phone before you took that break, that guy's a wimp. He has no idea. He's one of those pretty boys. Nice guys. Nice guys don't get laid.
Well, we've said that many times on this show, Troy. Thank you for the call. Omar on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Not much, Omar.
Hey, how you doing, man? Listen, man, I got a story for you. I got the laziest girl working with me. The other day I asked her, hey, go mop the floor. homegirl had the nerve to ask me to go get the mop and the bucket, man.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of lazy, man?
Well, of course, but I do believe that women go to the office,
man,
just like many women go to college to get an MRS degree. I think many women go to the office essentially hoping to meet Mr. Right.
Yeah.
I like working and creating and pulling their own weight is not something women go to the office to do. Now, are there exceptions? Of course there are. So what?
Yeah. I agree with you, Tom, man. I'm telling you, this girl, man, the computer is like 3 steps away. She's always asking me to make receipts for her, because we got to give receipts to the customers. But she's always asking me. She's like 3 feet away, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I completely understand, Omar. Believe me, I feel your pain. Bob Bay on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Bobby.
Tom.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Great.
Good. Hey, listen, I have a story for you also. I used to live in New York. I just moved out to Vancouver, and I had a job.
Vancouver, BC, or Vancouver, Washington?
Vancouver, Washington. Sorry.
Okay.
And I used to work for a retail place where I had the secretary. I used to be the maintenance mechanic, and this lady would tell me to do stuff, lift boxes, be very nice to me, you know, clean the bathroom. I'd run in there and clean it real quick because the other maintenance guy wasn't there. And bottom line, she kept going back to the boss and saying things about me like a disrespect type thing. And I wish I would have listened to you sooner. I just moved out here, and I switched the radio about 3 months ago, and I just landed on your station. And, boy, I wish I had listened to you before I got that job. But now I'm in a job out here, and totally walking into, you know, the office, not talking to women. They want me to do something, say, listen, I'm a tech. I am not doing that for you.
Absolutely. And that's what you need to do.
I've been getting more respect just by listening to you, and I got to give it to you. I tell you, I'm 40 years old, and I've been hammered most of my life in companies with women, and also written up for sexual abuse because I didn't do something for some woman. And she wrote me up because she didn't get her way. But I beat it. I beat it by going to the boss and explaining to him and doing what I had to do and just being tough.
So what, because you wouldn't do one of these things that were outside of your job description?
Yes.
Like what was it she wanted you to do?
She wanted me to clean something in a basement where there was mice and rats, get fixtures for the floors. And I said, no, I am not doing that, and I'm not doing any more baloney, especially what went on with the... And
she tried to nail you for gender discrimination or a hostile work environment?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I am very...
Because you refused to do something that was not in your job description.
Right, exactly.
But I hope all the boys are hearing this. You went to the Human Resources Department, and you beat her.
I beat her to the point that she got fired, but then the secretary that was being nice to me and then not nice to me got me fired.
What for?
Fired.
What did she say you did?
Not doing what she was telling her, and basically I caught them too, the boss and her, in their office. I walked in to do something, to empty some pails, and they were putting their clothes back on, and I got fired because otherwise I would have told somebody. Well, because I actually told somebody. I went up to the higher-up.
Well, I would have hired an attorney after that. Are you kidding me? That's not frivolous litigation. That's legitimate.
And I got away with it. I got out of it. They wanted to give me my job back. Here's the funny part. They wanted to give me my job back. And I said, no, I want this kind of pay. I want this reimbursement for the time that I've been out, that my family, my 2 kids, I've been out of work, not being able to feed them. And I want it. I said, if you want to take this to court, let's do it, because
Good for you.
Photos. I got photos.
Good for you, Bobby. I am so proud. The Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Marcy. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay, Marcy.
Good. I absolutely love your show, I have to say. I listen to it every day. Some of these women that are calling in and say, I need help with boxes, I need help lifting this stuff. I'm 25 years old. I've been driving a truck for almost 4 years now, about 3.5 years. I don't ask for any help. I do everything on my own. I've driven tanker, driven flatbed, drive-in, and right now I'm pulling a refrigerated truck behind me. It's 53 foot. I don't ask for help. I do it on my own. If I can't do the job, I need to find something else to do.
But you know that most women are not like that.
But they need to be like that. They want these whole, I want to be equal to a man. I want to be equal. Well, then go to the gym, pump some weights, and lift the box on your own. Get a ladder. Get a step stool. But you don't need to be asking for help. If you don't know the computer program, then go get trained on it.
Absolutely. Ben on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay, Ben.
I agree with what you're saying, and I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, you can do that as, say, a multimillionaire. You can kind of...
Oh, no, pal, I did this before I ever had a good job. I did this at lousy jobs.
Yeah, but, I mean...
do you think I was a multimillionaire my whole life?
No, but kind of in your field, you can do that. I mean, that's...
Pal, I had many day jobs along the way. I didn't just walk right into a radio station and start working. I mean, for years, I worked in radio part-time, and I had a day job, or I had an office job. In some cases, I had no radio job, and I was only working in an office.
Shoot, I mean, it doesn't work for me. I see what you're saying, but whenever you try to just, like, say... I've never been in a job where women have not asked me for help.
But you've also never tried this.
That's true, but I mean...
Well, why don't you try it?
Because I'm afraid that, say, a girl can make your life hell, man.
But all you have to say is, that's not part of my job. Just the way a woman would if you asked her to make coffee for you.
See, I don't know. I think that I try to develop...
Have you ever gone to the office and asked a woman to make you a cup of coffee?
No, I haven't, but see...
that's my point. Why wouldn't you? Because they would say exactly what I'm telling you to say. That's not my job. What do you think this is, the 50s?
No, but I mean, I try to develop a friend basis. I mean, you spend so much time at work, you just try to...
You can be friends with... I'm not telling you to be a jerk. Be a jerk in your dating life. I'm simply telling you to be professional. And when someone asks you to do something that's not your job, say that.
Straight up say.
Just say that. Right. No more, no less. You don't have to be a jerk about it. You just say, hey, I'm sorry to say, this is just not my job.
A lot of people will think that you are being a jerk if you just...
I don't care. You know what? I don't care if they think that, as long as you're not being one.
I guess that's true. I mean...
Just be professional. I'm not saying be unprofessional or being unnecessarily mean or rude about it. It is a fact that your job is not lifting crates or putting water bottles on top of water coolers or helping people move furniture in the office. It's not your job.
Yeah, but see, the way that I look at it is it's only going to take me 35 seconds.
No, but the amount of respect you will lose from people in the office far outweighs the amount of time it would take you to cooperate.
Yeah, I guess you're right there.
Don't you want to be treated with that kind of respect?
Well, I am. I mean, I get along with everybody in my place.
But not nearly as much as you would get if you said, look, I'm going to be professional, and I'm here to do a job.
And that's not part of my job description.
Right. It's really not what I do here.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but... And maybe I will give that a shot.
It's not your job to be lifting anything heavy around the office, for God's sake. It's unbelievable. I'm amazed that guys still think that they have to do that stuff. Blows me away. All right, our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Or you can call our comment line here 24 hours a day at area code 310-842-9592. That's 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.